In 2025, New Balance grew sales by 19% to $9.2 billion. And that is the 5th year in a row that they managed to grow sales by a double-digit rate. And this is happening at a time when the overall sneaker market isn't really doing so well, which is showing that New Balance isn't just performing really well, they're taking market share from their competitors.
Show of hands, who remember when Nike was untouchable? Everybody wanted Air Jordans, Dunks, or Air Forces. Now, a brand people used to call dad shoes or grandpa shoes in my era, New Balance is outselling them in growth, and this isn't hype, okay? New Balance just posted like the biggest year in its history, growing sales by big double digits, while Nike slipped for the 4th year in a row. Something is shifting in culture and taste and in spending, and this shift tells you a lot about where money and style is heading. Let's break it down. Now, New Balance sales jumped 19% to $9.2 billion in 2025, marking 5 straight years of double-digit growth, and the brand says it could hit $10 billion in revenue this year. Meanwhile, Nike's revenue has been declining, and analysts say it's losing market share to smaller competitors. We're talking how New Balance flipped the sneaker game while Nike stumbles, and what that means for trends in your wallet. How this is a bigger story about brands and culture. Now, once again, like I said, New Balance posted 19% sales growth in 2025, 5 years straight of double-digit expansion. That's big. Now, it hit $9.2 billion in total revenue last year, and this year, once again, it could hit $10 billion, according to CEO Joe Preston. Clearly, this is not a fluke. Since 2020, the brand sales have grown about 180%. That's massive momentum. Now, the growth came from a few smart moves. New Balance didn't burn bridges with wholesale partners that Nike actually walked away from. They opened 80 new stores globally in 2025 so customers could shop how they wanted. They leaned hard into nostalgia and fashion and culture. That dad shoe vibe actually turned into cool again. They signed real stars like Shohei Ohtani, Coco Gauff, and Josh Allen, putting the brand and culture moments not just on running tracks. Now, it's simple. When people want comfort, style, authenticity, they buy it. New Balance became the brand of choice because it hit all three at the right time. But before you chalk it up to style, there's also a business reason Nike stopped winning the way it used to. Now, Nike's total revenue has fallen about 9.8% in its most recent fiscal year, while New Balance grew. Nike's been making some questionable strategic calls over the last few years. Experts say part of the problem was a push into direct-to-consumer sales at the expense of retail partners. That left empty shelves while competitors filled them. Analysts also point to Nike losing market share in categories like running shoes, where brands like New Balance, On, and Hoka are actually gaining traction. Now, Nike leaned on its heritage products like Air Jordans, Dunks, Air Force Ones. But those retro releases are seeming to wear out their welcome if they're overexposed. Meanwhile, Nike stock has been sliding because of slowing revenue. Foot traffic in stores has dropped, of course. Loyal sneakerheads are exploring new brands with fresh energy. I'm telling you, the sneaker game is kind of dead. Nike is still massive. They aren't going bankrupt. They're still good, but fat margins and nostalgia aren't enough when new names drop comfort technology, streetwear culture convergence, and fashion credibility. So case in point, my man's Joe Fresh Good. Shout out to Joe from Chicago. To me, he is really the sole reason why New Balance is where it's at today. He's the one who put his spin on some of the old classics with different colorways. His marketing campaigns were stellar. And that's one of the homies, man. I've been knowing him for years. But he is really the reason why New Balance gained is cool, right? He's like the Chicago Nego, if you know anything about Joe Fresh Goods. So it was a smart thing for New Balance to actually get Joe Fresh Goods, a person who actually worked with Nike beforehand, okay? And Nike didn't see his value, I guess, and they let him go. So he ended up working with New Balance, and it's worked out. So New Balance grew and Nike slowed, but what does that actually mean for consumers, culture, and money? Everybody knows, like, sneakers, it's not just shoes anymore. It's cultural currency. resale assets, style statements and expression of identity. Platforms like StockX show sneaker resale hitting multi-billion-dollar markets, meaning this stuff isn't just fashion, it's finance and culture. When a brand like New Balance rises, it tells us that consumers are tired of the same old, same old. People want authenticity and comfort. Younger buyers value plus narrative over legacy hype. Money flows where ecosystems of culture are the strongest, right? Nike's slump isn't just about sneakers. It's really, to me, about arrogance. Sometimes they feel like, since they're the behemoth, they can do whatever they want to do, right? But that's not true. It's really about brand relevance, cultural currency, and consumer voice shifting the power. New Balance didn't just sell more shoes. It shifted the narrative. It actually made comfort look good. It stayed close to retail partners and connected with culture on a grassroots level, gave people something new to wear with pride. Nike, they relied too much on past hits and kind of lost touch with what today's buyers actually crave. And that's why money and attention moves away from old kings to fresh players.